Hi, and welcome. Today I'm getting ready to change the planer blades on my Delta PC 305 TP. I'm sorry, Porter cable PC 305 TP. And this is really basically the same machine as the Delta that I had previously. And just to show you guys, here's what you got to do: is you got to take off this, and this. Okay. These two, the outer ones, have springs, okay? And these springs hold the tension down on this bar. Alright, and basically there's a notch here, and then there's a notch here for a nipple for this bar to sit into, okay? So you got to be careful there. And before you even get to your head here, there's a screw here and a screw here that you have to take out for the original chute that comes with your machine. Okay? What I bought as an extra was, this dust port chute, which saves you a lot of mess. So I really suggest you guys purchasing that for the extra, $30 or so that it costs. So basically, I'm going to unscrew these, and I'll show you what's next. Alright, I'm going to set you down here, and I apologize for video not being 100% professional, but you know what? I'm just trying to help someone else out the way that YouTube has really helped me out. And by the way, I'm not paid professional for any of the companies here or any of the tools that I have. So basically, what happens is these machines, if you don't know, maybe you bought them used, they come with an Allen wrench here. Okay. And if you happen to ever need to replace these screws, you can certainly buy them online, or you can always go to one of the stores and try to buy them there. But I would definitely try to get one that, is the same as the tool that comes with the machine. That way you don't have to go looking for a tool every time you need to change the blades out. Alright? So I guess I was taking a little long to unscrew those there. Well, I like to try to get them all unscrewed as evenly as possible, similar to putting a tire on a vehicle, right? You don't just lock down every wheel nut in a row. You have to go cross pattern, right? And it's very important when you're tightening it too. So at the ends here, and here, there's springs, we were talking about. Alright, so basically, I'm going to start here in the middle. I try to keep my screws right where I can remember they're at, because I have a habit of losing things. Alright, so right now I'm keeping pressure down on here because there are springs, okay? Slowly let this up so your springs can stay in its seat. Bring your bar up, put it somewhere where you're not going to forget where it's at. And carefully get the knife off the machine. They do have like a knife tool under here if you guys want to use it. I'm not suggesting you do or don't. Alright, so I take the blade, set it aside because they're really throwaways. New blades, they come two-sided. If they got small nicks, I'll sharpen them. I've tried it before and it actually works, especially if you're doing work with pallet wood or something like that and you're bound to get nails in it. So I'll sharpen them if I can, and then pallet wood's all different sizes. I'll just put the piece down whatever side doesn't have the nick in the blade, because it's expensive replacing these blades at somewhere between $20 and $30 a pop, depending on where you go. All right, so you make sure this whole head's clean. I do anyways. before I put my bar back on. You don't want any clumps of anything underneath of it, because as it spins, it'll get a wood chunk in it, and it'll basically bend the blade up, and you'll have a mess. You have a broken blade, and trying to figure out, you know, what to do then. So, and also I recommend keeping 1 or 2 extra with you at all times. So, all right. So remember again, they got these notches here, the nipples here, and I'll give you a close up here to see what it looks like. All right. So there you go. Okie dokie. You got the nipple there and the nipple there sticking through the blade. All right. Spring, spring. All right. So now you just basically reverse everything you did earlier. All right. So here we go again. So I got the springs there, and I carefully set my bar clamp, I think they call it, or I can't remember. I have bent one of these before, so I had to buy one. Carefully set that there, making sure, you know, it sits on those nipples right. And I screw in by hand the ends first, because I don't want the springs to come out. And I have put this back. I have put these back together, realizing I didn't set this on the nipple, and it's always good to do a double check on it before you let this thing fly. And I've also had them where one of these screws come loose and get lodged as it's coming around, you know. And if you ever have that happen, turn it off right away. You're gonna tear up your motor. I was fortunate that it didn't tear up the motor of mine. But it did bend the screw. Alright, so what I'm doing now is we tighten them by hand. Now I'm just going around again and tightening them all with the tool. I'm not doing the final tighten because I'm going to start here. Now I'm going to start at this end. I tighten 1 all the way, 2 all the way, and then I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the end, tighten that one, come back, tighten. You don't want to over tighten, you don't want to strip it, you're breaking the head, and then tighten. Okay, I think you guys are getting the drift now. Alright, now let's tighten all the way. Now I'm putting my chute back on. Fits in there just right. And then these are just a hand tighten down. And that noise you're hearing in the background is my sump pump running, if you're wondering. I'm in the middle of trying to move everything around my house and set up my wood shop in my basement, and that comes with construction and ventilation and noise issues you gotta deal with. I'm just out of space, and definitely am not going to be working outside in the cold because my garage is not heated and there's not enough time in the day to get everything done. Or money. Alright, so now there you have it. We got the blade installed, we got the chute back.